everyone. Welcome to another Happy Healthy Half Hour. My name is Lindsay Bonadonna. I am a healthy habits coach, and the whole purpose of these is to help expose you to a different way to look at your health and wellness that you may not have previously considered. Sometimes you just get me, but on episodes like this, you get a super special guest. And today I am super hyped to welcome Lyn Hogrefe. Lyn is the founder and executive director of the Hormone Cottage and also the founder of the Women's Health Initiative Foundation. Lyn, I'm so excited to have you here. How are you doing today?
Oh, I'm amazing. Just being in your presence makes me just ever so happy. I just love you.
I know, that's what we were just talking about before we started recording. It's like we could just be like, oh no, I love you more. It's like a big love fest. And
it is.
Lyn, before I have you share a little bit more about yourself, I just want to say that I started working with the Hormone Cottage almost a year ago now, and it's been life-changing for me, like in so many ways. I was having a lot of migraines, and to be able to get a big picture of what's going on with my body through some Dutch testing, and then also to be able to work with such incredible team that was really aligned with my vision of seeing what we could do through natural supplements and all of that. I mean, it's like, and I'm feeling so much better. Like it actually works, which is huge after years of things not working. So yes, and I've learned so much about my body too, but I can go on the whole time about how great this place is. But Lyn, can you share a little bit about you and what inspired you to start the Hormone Cottage and just all of your wonderfulness?
Sure. You're so kind. I was born and bred to be a teacher. I love educating. I taught inner city sixth grade for 30 years. I was teacher of the year in 2004 and 5. And I was in a self-contained classroom. So, I got really close to my kids. And when I was 49 years old, I began hemorrhaging, and I found out that I had a 2-pound fibroid tumor in my uterus. I named him Bob. Bob was not a happy camper with me. I did not want Bob in me. So I held on to the end of the school year as long as I could. It's not easy to hemorrhage and leave sixth graders in the classroom by themselves. I'm like, no.
Gosh,
so I went into surgery at the end of the school year. And the surgeon said to me before I went into surgery, okay, Lyn, ovaries in or ovaries out. And I had never thought about it. I didn't know they were my hormone factories back then. I'm like, take them out. I don't want ovarian cancer. So he took them out, and I came out of surgery. My husband, Jeff, who was a pharmacist at that point at 2 big box stores called Biggs back in the day. He said, oh my God, I know what's going to happen. Because he would see his women coming in every month for their hormone therapy. They were all cranky and kind of overweight and really, they never wanted sex with their husbands. He goes, oh God, not on my watch. So he flew to Houston to become a compounding pharmacist. And he actually went back to Friends Common Lab, and he made my hormone creams from plant-based powders, and I began to use them. I went back to school the next fall, and all my teacher friends who were in their mid-30s, I ran circles around them. I had energy. I was excited. I wasn't having any issues. No brain fog. I thought, oh my, I'm onto something, and it's progesterone, and nobody knows about it. It isn't taught in medical school. So I finished teaching in 2007 and really spent 2 years immersed in this whole field of natural hormone balance, which is not taught in medical school. So I had lovely doctors who want to make us better, just don't know about it. And I opened my cottage in 2009. Just to have women show up and help them, and they just showed up in droves. I wrote a book called On Your Journey because no one would have believed the incredible story of what happened, just from being maybe authentic and just wanting to help. I didn't have a business plan. I didn't need to make money. I just wanted to help women. And from doing that from my heart, it just exploded. And here we are today with our own integrative hormone center and a men's health center and a compounding lab and a satellite office. It really, when I look back, it's hard to believe, actually.
It's amazing. And I just want to note too that you are able to serve people all over the country, not just in Cincinnati where you're based.
Right. We are. Yeah. Because of telemedicine laws now post-COVID, if you're out of Ohio or in Florida, where we actually have a telemedicine license, you've got to come and be seen once a year, but we can do everything else telemedicine and at home. So it's been really great. Yeah.
That's so awesome. It's so awesome. So let's get into the thick of what we wanted to talk about today, which we were calling it, I think our episode is called Happy Healthy Hormones, but we've had so many different in-depth conversations about this. So I'm really looking forward to talking about it. So where would you like to start, Lyn?
I think I have to say we help women from age 18 to my oldest one is 88. She just turned 88. She's adorable. So I help women in that age range. But I would say the women that come into me the most, which are kind of my favorites, are those that are like 42 to 48, because I call them my hot messes with love, because they're kind of crazy. They don't know what's happening. They're all going into perimenopause and they have all these issues, and they go to their doctor for help, and God love them, they try, but then they're prescribed maybe Prozac. And I'm like, but you're not Prozac deficient, or Ambien, but you're not Ambien deficient, as I begin to twitch. I'm like, no. So it's just educating them on the tasks of hormones, and that at the age of 35-ish, these hormones begin to change and you begin to really feel your aging process, and we have to begin to replace them. And that every day you go past 35-ish that you don't replace your hormones naturally, you're just going to begin to feel symptomatic, and they're just going to keep getting worse and worse. And your quality of life is going to slowly deplete over time. You wake up one day and think, oh my gosh, I don't even recognize myself anymore. What happened? So I think it's realizing that educating yourself, or coming to one of my hormone hours, or just researching it with friends to know what's going on, is really important. And our doctors really can't help us. So we're kind of stuck. And I'm thinking about this. If our doctors don't know about hormones, and nutrition isn't taught in medical school, as you know, or our supplements, we're kind of a country of dis-ease, right? And women have been left to try for so many years. I'm like, but this is just not, it's just not okay anymore. So if I can educate women to own their journey to their best health naturally, and in a as inexpensive a way as possible, have them begin to replenish their hormones naturally, they can live a great quality of life, hopefully disease-free, right?
Yes. And Lyn, I love so much what you're saying, because I think something that was really amazing to me in the experience that I had with you guys versus the experience that I had, I really did have a great care provider too before I came to the Happy Hormone Cottage. But again, there are limitations to what is being taught currently in medical school. And for me, you guys know I'm all about looking at what's going on like in our entire life and how it's impacting our health, not just what we eat and what we drink or what we weigh or anything like that. And looking at the body as one big unit. And also what I loved is that previously when I was having my hormones looked at, it would be just through a blood test, which is like a snapshot of what's happening that particular day of my cycle. And it can change. Or I had to go back like multiple times for blood work, which was challenging on a bunch of different ways. And then while I was on plant-based progesterone supplement, I was really surprised to find out why that wasn't necessarily the best fit for me. And what the Happy Hormone Cottage does, I know I did the Dutch testing, but I know there's other things that you do as well. But looking at the big picture of what's going on and kind of the evolution of our hormones throughout evolution, that's probably not the best day, the pattern of our hormones throughout the day,
right?
And understanding the options that are available is so important. It makes my heart sad as I've learned more. And when we know more, we do better, right? It's not about like, oh my gosh, I did these things wrong. It's not that. We just continue to learn as humans. But I can't tell you how many clients that I have, because I also work with that, the 40-ish age clients and older that are going through these different changes, and they're talking to their doctor, and they're either dismissed or they're put on birth control or some type of hormone supplementation. Or even very recently, I had a client who was recommended like to have a testosterone like thing put in their body. I can't think of it. It's like a little
pellet.
A pellet. And when I hear these things, those treatments do exist for a reason. So I'm not saying that they're good, bad, and different or whatever, but I just think it's important that the whole picture is explored with somebody who knows how to explore it, and then go from there. Because our hormones are, in many ways, they're very fragile and very susceptible to a lot of different changes.
Right. And I like what you're talking about is functional medicine, the study of the entire body. So we do, our hormone world is cortisol, the sex hormones, and thyroid. But we've also had to bring in some other pieces. So my husband, Jeff, is certified in functional medicine to help people that need more, and often we need more. So we also have him helping women who with a big picture as well, and fitting everything into a piece where it all works together. Think of, I always hold up my little shiny 6th grade teacher car. We're all 5-cylinder race cars, and we're going vroom, and we're amazing. But when you have flat tires and you're out of gas in your engine and the oil needs to be changed, and you just do one tire, you're still not going to go very far because you didn't fix the whole engine. You haven't kickstarted the whole thing. So I want to continue to be my nice, beautiful, blue, shiny car with everything all running and working. And I've had to invest in that. It's going to cost a little bit of money. But this is all I have. I'm all I have. If my engine is gone, if it's not working, then I'm not any good to myself or anybody else. And I feel like that's really such a waste, you know? So I want to keep it all running.
I love that. And I've really been like telling everybody that I possibly could just kind of bring this to awareness, but we're the only person that we spend our entire life with. Everybody else comes and goes, even our kids, our family. We're the only ones, yet we are the ones that are often put last. And then something that you shared that I think is, I would love to hear more about, because it's not surprising, but it's also surprising. But you were talking about how you've been seeing much more complicated cases recently, and just kind of the domino effect of what seem like maybe small health challenges, but how they really add up over time. Could you share a little bit more about what you've been seeing?
Yeah, you know, and I think this comes from a real spot of compassion and empathy for women. I mean, I speak with women and listen for 13 years now. And so I get a real feel for the struggles and how things change over time. And I have to share with all sincerity and empathy that we're seeing a lot of women coming into our facilities now that are just sicker and sicker. And I'm thinking it's a lot of COVID related stress, financial stress, a changing home life. So cortisol issues are running rampant. Our hormone receptors are becoming depleted. 8 out of 10 have a thyroid issue. 8 out of 10 have a thyroid issue. So our thyroid is wanky. Weight gain, obesity has become hugely problematic and promoting a lot of disease and inflammation. And so we've had to go ahead and kind of customize our testing to our women. We've added we have an amazing 10-point thyroid panel, for example. You know, when you go to endocrinologists who are lovely people, they'll check the TSH and the T4. That's like taking our lovely race car and checking one tire and the other 3 are still flat. What? So we have a 10-point blood panel that we check 10 different parts of the thyroid. And then we've got a Thyroflex machine in our Mason office that can titrate dosing. And then we also added to this blood panel that's billed to insurance, by the way, which is awesome. We've added our A1C, our CBC complete blood count, and our fasting glucose, fasting insulin levels. We've had to add that into our, because women need us to do that. And then look at their insulin resistance and get a handle on what's going on so we can really address them at the root cause and fix that. And we've also gone ahead, we used to back in the day, Lynn's, just see people initially and at the 3-month mark, and then you're good for a year. It doesn't work anymore. For some women it works, but now we've gone ahead and we've begun these little 15-minute, I call quick touch appointments, where we bring you back in for 15 minutes to see how you're doing, check in, what do you need, how are you, how do you feel? We've had to start that as well because we've just hired our 5th nurse practitioner because we need to keep up with and ahead of the curve and make sure that the women we're servicing are the best they can be. That's my commitment. I birthed this business in 2009. This is my company. So it's my pledge to myself and to the people that I work with and the people that come to me that we'll do our best, our very best, to make sure that you're your best.
And I have to say something awesome about that, because that is something that's come on my radar more recently, of when we see different practitioners, there is no follow-up. Like, the follow-up is completely on us, which is important. We do have to advocate for our own health and do all those things. But that's something that I love, is that I do get regular check-ins, and sometimes they're like a little short one, or it's a longer one, depending what's happened, but also the availability that I have to just reach out if I have a question, and it gets answered in a prompt fashion. Because we need this, because every day is different. And I think it's really, Sorry, I told you I could go on for hours about the
Oh,
happy
it's
hormone
funny.
cottage,
We
but
just we just began January 1st. I ordered 3,000, and we're going to order more. 3,000 magnets for the refrigerator, little square magnets, and it talks about how you can connect with your nurse practitioner immediately through your portal. And so I want to be out of it. I'm not. I want you to be with your NP. The two of you together with a relationship that's connected and engaged. I don't want to be a part of that because I don't. It's you two. I'm not the practitioner. I'm the educator. So we have this campaign where everyone's getting a magnet. If you order a prescription, it's on our website now, how to reach your practitioner, and they'll respond. I mean, it's almost immediate. It's you two against the world. It isn't me or my 10 employees that are running all this piece. It's you and the NP, that is practitioner. So let's have you guys connect through the portal, come in and see us again, be engaged, because only that way will you continue to get better and better, right?
yes, yeah. And it's so amazing as well to just to be able to be heard. I think that's one of the biggest things and experiences, because there are, again, and it's not to, I've been thinking a lot lately too, the system is just broken in a variety of different ways, and to be able to start to look at things differently, because not only are we like our only body, and Lynn, I really loved, we should have probably started recorded the instant that we hopped on Zoom together, because there was already gold being shared there. But I also really appreciate what you were saying, how you were talking about, like, time goes by really, really, really fast, and we do deserve to feel good. And sometimes the answer is not, like, I like to try to encourage people, if you're noticing, like for me, I was getting migraines all the time, like, and then I started tracking them because nothing was helping. I went to a neurologist. I was in the ER twice in 1 week. Like, it was a huge mess. And it was related to my hormones. So if you're noticing something coming up, I think that's the first step, is just kind of like, if you're feeling off all the time, start to get curious around that. Lynn, when do you find that people usually start coming to you? Are they at a certain, I know you said there's kind of like a certain age range that you tend to start seeing in that 40-ish range, but is there some type of event that usually catapults somebody into being like, oh my gosh, I have to do something because I don't know what else to do, and all of that?
It's one of two things. Those young women who have really horrific periods every month that are just painful, clotting, heavy bleeding, hemorrhaging, almost incapacitated, just really painful. They've got to push through it. Every month they go to their doctor and they're put on birth control. And I'm like, ooh, if we can really fix it with progesterone. Birth control is great for contraception reasons, but if it's for not that reason, there could be, in my opinion, better ways to manage that. So we see people that are really
Absolutely.
And then at age 35, when our ovaries begin to age and get more wrinkly and ornery and less fertile, our progesterone receptors begin to empty. And then you notice every month you age past 35, the worse you feel. And here's the thing, Lindsay, it's such a slow decline. You don't really even recognize it until one day you're 42 and you wake up and think, oh my God, what is wrong with me? I'm cranky, miserable. I never have sex. I have no joy. I'm just cranky. I have brain fog, love handles, no energy. And it's like a wake up call. And we help them. Those are the women we help them all the time. It's a little journey. Got to spend a little bit of money, but you've got to put yourself on your list, right? On your list, and take charge of it. Yeah.
I love two things that you made me think of. I've been calling it a midlife awareness. Yeah. Like, I've been encountering a lot of people recently that are just like, is this really what life is supposed to feel like? And it's all people in this in this 40-ish age group, but I call it an awareness because it's only a crisis if you don't pay attention to it.
Absolutely. I know. Yeah.
And buy things.
Here's the one thing about progesterone. If you can remember these, I think it's 7 words. It's your joy of life hormone. Mm-hmm. So if you don't have progesterone, I always hold my little green cup, my progesterone receptor, my little 6-grade teaching tool. By the time you're 42, it's pretty empty, nothing in there. Hello. And so that's why you don't have joy of life. If you're not sleeping, if you're depressed, anxious, moody, fatigued, brain fog, you're not going to have joy of life. And so once we can replace those receptors through great testing and great authentic plant-based powders, you will fill your receptor, you'll regain all those great parts of life and you'll feel happy and joyful again. But if you do nothing, today is the best day you're ever going to have. It's just doesn't get better. It just gets worse and worse.
Listen to that again, people. Can you say that one more time? If you do not do anything.
If you do nothing to help yourself feel your best or better, today is the best day you're ever going to have. It's not going to go away tomorrow or next. It's not a phase. It's called aging. Hello, aging. And you've got to get a handle on it, and you can. You can.
Yes, yes. And oh my gosh, I love that so much, because it is not, again, just to reiterate this, our health is not just what we eat or how much we move. Like, we are built with these incredibly intricate, amazing machines that we are not given an instruction manual for. So we have to be the ones that write and understand and get curious and learn about how our bodies work. And we are all bio individuals, and it's important to explore that. And Lyn, you want to know, I have a personal question for you, because I'm curious.
All right.
Before we were recording, you had talked about how everything that you do is about your health. Every decision that you make, everything throughout the day is all about your health. When did that transition occur for you?
That's a great question. I would say when I finished teaching my 30 years and I actually had time to think about it. So probably in my when I was 50, I just recognized that my health is everything. It's just really important to me. And I wanted to go ahead and be able to walk my talk, begin my cottage. And I had to be the best version of myself I could be to help other people. And I had lunch with a friend yesterday. And I said to her, everything that I do every minute of every day is about my health. I mean, from the Kangen water I drink when I get up in the morning, I drink 32 ounces every morning when I get up. Absolutely. To the workout that I do every day. I'm up to a 5.5 minute personal plank every third day. I mean, just everything I do, the food I eat, everything that I do, how much stress I allow myself, the amount of sleep that I get. I mean, everything that I do is about my health, and I enjoy it. I love the bike. I love chocolate. I can have a piece of chocolate. I mean, I don't deprive myself, because when I feel my very best, I can enjoy my life, right? It doesn't mean I can't have a decent run on the rocks every so often. Of course, it's called life. And I love milk chocolate. I'm sorry, I love milk, and I'll have a couple pieces every day, because that's called living. But it's the whole picture. I know that I feel amazing. And when I can feel amazing physically, I work on the mental piece of me and the emotional piece of me, the spiritual piece, the energetic piece. I have the energy to go the distance for my life, because every year is precious, right? I'm not young anymore. I'm not 40. I'm not 30. So every year is precious to me. I want to feel my best, right? We're all gifts to the world. So I want to cherish that. Does that make sense?
Oh my gosh, yes, so good. And I love what you said as well about that when you were 50 and you had time to slow down and think. That's something that's really been on my radar a lot recently too, is kind of like the ridiculousness. So we live in this society that really rewards doing too much, trying to do too much at one time, working 70 hours, not resting, hustling hard, like all of this stuff, working out, maxing out, like these crazy extremes. And as I really sit back and think about it, I'm like, but why? But why are we rushing? What are we rushing towards? Because all we're rushing towards is getting sick,
Illness,
and dying earlier. Like that,
right.
like that is literally it. And I loved that. And, for me, my questioning started happening and my slowing down started happening just 3 years ago. And even more intensely over the summer, where I was just like, because I was a show putting my girls to bed at night at times. Like, I was crabby and cranky, and I wanted to like rush through reading with them because I wanted to go to bed because I was so tired. And I started looking at it and I'm like, I'm exhausted at night because I'm going from 6 a.m. all the way until I go to bed. Right. I need to slow down. And it feels uncomfortable to slow down. But living a life that doesn't feel, life is not easy, even when you're feeling your greatest. However, life feels a lot different when you are feeling your greatest and really nourished, like in all sorts of different ways.
Absolutely. I think I've said this before, but your health is an investment, not an expense. And so I do want to, functional medicine and insurance don't go together. Um, I'll tell you a story that makes me really sad. But so back in 2015, we took insurance and we were doing whatever. We got an email from eScripts. We're no longer going to cover any compounds. We lost $600,000. We almost went out of business. My husband Jeff had to lay everyone off of the compounding lab, pick a medicine shop where we owned. He had to work by himself 18-hour days to turn it around. Well, my Happy Hormone Cottage we were okay. We still kept working, but the pharmacy itself was a one-man show, went from 20 people or whatever to one person because the insurance just said one day we're not going to do. So we had to become masters of our own destiny, carriers of our own ship. We decided we're never going to take insurance again. It does not work to be dictated to. We just can't. So we have worked hard to keep our prices low. Everything is in-house. You can get your progesterone cream for $90 twice a year if you're having a cycle. I mean, come
Amazing.
on. We try to
Amazing.
keep our prices down. We give CPT codes, take HSA cards. Some people say, I read a comment on Facebook about my cottage, they don't take insurance. And there's a no, I can't respond. There's a no-win response. But I'm just saying, if you only knew, walk in my shoes, I only knew why we can't. I can't even comment. This is a no-win comment. There's no win to that. So I want people to open their minds to the fact that insurance will keep you sick because you're going to standard of care that band-aids symptoms, and we want to find and fix the issues. So we want to keep our prices down. I call other hormone facilities, well, I don't because people know me, but I have people that call other facilities every 18 months. We're less than half as expensive as anybody else in the tri-state, maybe in the country. We're really not expensive. We're just not. So I'm done ranting. I'm sorry.
No, but Lyn, there are more and more practitioners, more and more therapists that are choosing to not work with insurance companies. And the reasons are, and we do need to open our eyes because, part of this is encouraging a revolution in how we look at health in our country. But the other part of it is that there are such limitations that can be put on someone's health going through insurance.
Right.
And when you are looking and making this investment, because it's the same with me, to work with a health coach is not currently something that's covered by insurance. To work with a therapist, not often covered by insurance. To work with a functional practitioner that's looking at your whole body, all the systems, not covered by insurance. But the reason that's so powerful is because then you have complete control over what happens. And that is what we need to be able to do as we advocate for our health and well-being, because nobody else is going to. And the thing that's so hard too is that, we look at it because we've been drilled in that way.
Right.
Oh, well, I can't just pay a $30 copay.
No,
well,
you can't.
No, but here's what I can tell you is that when you invest in whole body health and functional medicine and practices like the Happy Hormone Cottage, you're saving money later on because you're not causing yourself more issues and disease. So it's like we have to stop looking at how can I feel better in the next 30 days and what's the least expensive thing, and start looking at, okay, we have a whole life to live ahead of us. So how can we live that to the fullest possible and understand too that we're saving a whole crap load of money at the end.
Because if you're not sick, you're not spending money on sickness. You're spending it on investing in your best health, and it feels really good, right?
Yes.
So I'm excited about the possibilities, and women are focusing in, and they are. When you get to a point where you're just so miserable, like your migraines, you have to do something. They're coming into Hormones 101 with Lyn, free small group Zoom sessions and learning, because education promotes learning, and learning can change behavior. And that's what we're looking at, the crux of the matter, to change behavior so you can be empowered to make really great choices for your health long-term, the overall body, right?
Yes. And it is so exciting because we were talking about as well, as you start to heal your body, as you start to really get to know your body and listen to it and honor it and slow down and check in and all of those things, you also begin to access these deeper, different levels of healing and get to explore different things that just add even more depth and meaning to your life. And it is a journey. We are not meant to go on this journey alone. We are not meant to know one thing, or no, I'm sorry, know all of the things, and
Right.
we are meant to have a whole team of people around us supporting us to live our best lives. And Lyn, it's so crazy because it's already been a half hour.
No,
I'm like, wait, did we just start talking? But I do have to say, and Lyn, I'm going to share the information below in the best way to contact you. But I have to say, friends, you must, if this call has got you curious, if you think that you have something going on with your thyroid, if you feel or you've seen a practitioner like something's up with your hormones, please take time and book a hormones one-on-one with Lyn. They are incredibly informative, and you see her. I mean, she's amazing and entertaining, and she delivers the information in a way that like is great and
thanks.
understandable.
Thank
Um,
you.
but Lyn, what's the best way for people to interact with the Happy Hormone Cottage and get to benefit from all the amazing out of the box thinking way that you guys approach health and
Okay.
wellness?
Well, they can go to my website, which is happyhormonecottage.com. They can book an appointment online. They can call our easy number, which is the 513 Cincinnati area code 444-6343. So 444-6343. They can do an individual step one with any of our patient consultants, or our hormones one-on-one with me, with small groups of women who come in and share and are vulnerable and connect. And they're my favorite
So
part of
good.
it. Love them. Women are really funny. I mean, so I had one person Zoom from her bed. She was tired. And she was hilarious. She was like a lay down comedian. We were rolling. I mean, it's just been a lot of fun. They're not all like that, but I mean, it's just being real and authentic and a safe space to land. So I love that. And I will say too, as a little teaser, we just began an amazing weight loss program that we're having such great success with. I'm so proud of that, with Dr. Kim Sunshine. So you can call and ask about that as well.
Oh, it's so awesome. And Lyn, I cannot thank you enough for taking the time and sharing your amazing wisdom, personality, love, all the smile, all the things. And I absolutely will definitely have to do a follow up because there's so much more that we can talk about. But thank you so much for the work that you do in this world. And dear friends, thank you for tuning in. And please take great care of yourself because you are totally worth it. It's important. You deserve a life that feels great. You're here for a reason. And Lyn, I will see you soon, you guys. I'll see you soon.
Thanks, Lynn.
Take
Thank
care.
you. You're the best. See ya.